Hey, this is Quan from ZTag. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating the ZUES, which is the ZTag Unified Entertainment System. The ZUES is an all-inclusive mobile command center with 24 ZTaggers and a charging dock at the bottom here. And it's got a touch screen, which allows us to remotely control all of these ZTaggers, and also it displays the scoreboard, leaderboard for all the players. Okay, so what we got here is a wireless keyboard. This is great for controlling this remotely, but also in case you want to change any of the player names, it's very easy to quickly type using this. We have a router clip right here, which is for this guy. I'll show you how to do that momentarily. And then here's the power cable. We're going to go plug this in right over here. Okay. Something to note, there are two switches here. This is the main power that is going to power the charging unit. And you want to keep these two separate because this is the actual computer that's going to turn on with the screen. And if you're just charging, you can keep this simply off while this thing switched on. Okay, so I just plugged in the device to power, and I'm going to switch this on. And you see this has a light indicator. Everything else right now is switched on, but I have yet to power the computer. And so the screen turns on, but there's no information on there, so it goes blank again. And then here, we're going to put the clip onto the router, and we're going to mount the router to the top of the lid to give a full football range of coverage for all the scores. So you take this clip and you put it to the back. You just simply slide it on. And then you put this behind the lid, and it just clips onto the very top edge right here. Okay, so that gives you the coverage you need when you run this out in a field. Okay, so now we're gonna lift this open and also turn on the screen, or turn on the computer rather. Okay. While that is booting up, a few more things to note here. There are two USB ports back here. One is actually the transmitter that is binded or bound to this wireless keyboard. And you want to make sure that the wireless keyboard, you switch this to on in order to actually control that. There is one additional USB port in case you need to make any updates to the ZTaggers. I'll show you that in another video. You simply connect this USB to a USB to these ZTaggers using a USB-C cable. There's also an HDMI port right here, which allows you to take whatever you see here on the screen and put it onto an external monitor or projector. So that's great for larger events where you have an audience and you want them to see the leaderboard. There's a SD card here, which is actually the entire system. This is based off of Raspberry Pi. This is an SD card that has the entire operating system in case we need to swap that out. Okay, so I'm going to go through some basic operations here. Now that this is fully loaded, this is your main screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to unplug a couple of the ZTaggers, and we simply just pull it away from the charging dock. And you do have to turn this on by pressing the power button once right here, and wait about 2 seconds. It'll load up. Actually, I'll just put it right here so we can see it. Okay. Pull out a few more. Okay. Okay, so that's ready. And then we're going to go into the monitor here. And you see there is a little gear icon. That gear icon is what we do to assign the players. And right now we see the 4 players already in here. These mean right now they're unassigned. And just by tapping the name onto the human, doctor, or zombie category, we're essentially assigning the characters. So I've just assigned them, and what you do here is you press OK, And you see how these 4 have immediately gone into their standby mode with the character names. I have not started the game because the game status right now is ready, but it's not playing yet. And you see the characters, we have the leaderboard already loaded up. There are 3 crowns. The crowns symbolize the best human, the best doctor, and the best zombie based on their score in this column. In this column, this is the attack, which is only applicable to zombies. So the more times a zombie infects somebody, this number goes up for the zombies. This column is converts, also for the zombies. So if a zombie is able to convert somebody into a zombie, they get a point right here. This column is heal, which is for doctors only. So the more that a doctor heals somebody, this goes up. And this column is for checkpoints. So the humans, the more checkpoints they collect, it'll show up here. And then we have battery status and wireless connectivity. For the most part, the batteries should last at least 4 continuous hours of game time. And then the range here, as I mentioned earlier, can go up to a full football field. And so in this game, we're just going to press start, and then you'll see it immediately just reacts right here. So I'm going to press start, okay? And you see now the game's already playing. And as it's happening, you see the leaderboard changing status. Okay. And then when you're done with the game, you simply press pause right here. Okay, it says the game is paused, and you see everybody is back into their standby mode, and then you can stop the game so that it resets everybody. And when you stop the game, you see each player shows game over and exactly what they did. So this person healed 1 player. This was a zombie, and he Z-tagged 5 players. And also between match to match, when you or if you change players and you don't want them to see the game over info from the previous game, you press the rules button right here. Okay, when you press rules, it basically resets the entire game. The scores go away, and this goes back into their initial state, which is simply just showing them basic rules to the game of ZTag. Okay, so by pressing this a few times, you can always get everybody back to their reset state. And then when you're done with the game, you can go right here, press the power button. Okay, and then you can go and press OK to shut down. And then wait for this power off sequence to fully go off. Okay, so now the screen is blank, and that means you can turn off power to the entire system. Okay, and remember right here, there are 2 buttons. We want to always turn this off first, which is turning off the computer before we actually turn off the power. Okay, and then we can put this back into the charging dock. Okay, it fits in very snugly. And when it's actually in charging state, you'll see that it starts blinking red and yellow, means that it's charging. But when it's fully charged, it goes into a green state. Okay, so these, plugging them back in. Okay, so once they're properly seated, they should all go into the charging state. So you see how these 4 are now charging. And then if I turn this off, everything just goes out. All right, so there you have it. This is the basic operation for the ZUES, the ZTag Unified Entertainment System. Thanks for watching.